Today we're checking out the new IdeaTab Pro by Lenovo. I paid $389 for mine, but I'll leave a link down below with current pricing and more information. This has the Tab Pen Plus included. There's also an official keyboard that works with this as well. I assume it's going to come as a bundle before too long here. It comes with 128 gigabytes of storage. It also takes a micro SD card as well. It's got a pretty large 12.7-inch LCD display at 2944 by 1840 resolution with up to 144 Hz refresh rate, 6.9 millimeters thin, and weighs about 620 grams. It's got Wi-Fi 6E and Bluetooth 5.3. The Tab Pen Plus kind of reminds me of an Apple Pencil. You can see it has a USB-C port there to charge it. Okay, definitely feels like nice build quality. You can see there's a spot to attach the pen there on the back. It looks like you can only attach the pen on the back, not on the side like some of the other Lenovo tablets. You can see it also has a flash there by the rear-facing camera. Volume buttons on the right-hand side. It's got a JBL quad speaker setup with Dolby Atmos, so 2 speakers on each side. Kind of a weird offset charging port there on the bottom. Definitely not as good as Samsung when it comes to software updates. Comes with Android 14. You get 2 years of major software updates, so it's upgradable to Android 16. 4 years security updates. This has the fingerprint scanner right on the power button. It looks like there's a software update, so might as well go ahead and do that. You can swipe down anywhere to get to the notifications in your control center. You've got the Google Entertainment space left of the home screen, where you have stuff to watch, games to play, books to read, or music to listen to. First thing you want to do is go into the Bluetooth settings, hold down on the button until it starts flashing on the end. Then you should be able to connect it through Bluetooth to your tablet. Kind of interesting, it still says pairing, but it's already working. Funny thing is, got this little box that pops up to connect it after it's already connected. Of course, you have your pen tools over here on the side. You can use it sort of like a remote for a slideshow. You've got a magnifying glass, laser pointer, and a couple others. Definitely a nice option if you take a lot of notes, draw, or just move around the software. You've got quite a few wallpapers to choose from. I'm not sure which tablet it's from, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some of these on previous Lenovo tablets. It's mostly the apps on here from Google. You can see they do put a few extra apps on here. Luckily, it looks like you can delete most of these if you need to. Kind of nice, it also tells you if you can use that app in split screen. You also have the taskbar down at the bottom, which I think helps when switching back and forth between apps. Of course, you have most of your shortcuts over here, like dark mode, auto brightness, split screen, airplane mode, auto rotate, and this also has PC mode as well, where it's going to be somewhat similar to Samsung DeX if you want to be a little more productive. Notifications and shortcuts down here in the right hand corner. If you go into the display settings, you have a couple different options for screen refresh rate. By default, it's on intelligent, where it automatically switches. You can also choose extreme, where it's 144 Hz, or standard, where it's 60. Nice thing is this is Widevine L1, which is good for streaming apps like Netflix. It'll also go up to upscaled 4K resolution on YouTube videos as well. I think the screen could be a little bit brighter. The viewing angles could be better as well. I'm pretty sure this is a TFT display, so it's not going to look as good as the Tab S10 FE or the S10 FE Plus, but still not bad considering the price. Nice thing is this has video out, so you can use an HDMI adapter to connect to a TV, projector, or external monitor. That's something that I think all tablets should have, and something you don't get with the Tab S10 FE series from Samsung. It's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a MediaTek Dimensity 8300 processor. Performance-wise, this is actually pretty similar to the new Galaxy Tab S10 FE. Actually a hair better in single and multi-core scores and GPU performance as well. I think it's got plenty of power to do some multitasking and whatever else you would need to on a tablet. I know when playing games like PUBG Mobile and Asphalt Legends Unite, the graphics aren't going to be the best out there, but still plays fairly smooth. And then obviously it's a little harder to reach things on the screen while playing on a larger tablet like this. But I think it has pretty good performance overall for a tablet in this category. It's got a 10,200 milliamp hour battery, supports up to 45 watt fast charging. I also ran my typical battery drain test at 100% screen brightness, and this one lasted about 6.5 hours, so just a little less than the new Tab S10 FE, but it should be plenty to last a couple days with the mixed use, even longer once you turn the screen brightness down. I feel like the speakers on here are nice and loud. It's probably not the best that I've heard, but still pretty good for a tablet in this price range. Here's a quick sample just to give you an idea of what it sounds like.
But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray. As you fade away.
I know a lot of people don't use their tablet for photos, but they might for videos. It's got a 13 megapixel camera on the back, 8 megapixel on the front. Inside the camera app, you've got documents, photo, video. Nice thing is you can shoot up to 4K resolution for video recording. I think photo quality looks pretty good, at least in my studio lighting. But here's a few quick samples just to give you an idea of what to expect from the IdeaTab Pro. Camera quality is probably a little better than expected. I think you could use this for Zoom meetings or other video conference calls if you had to, as long as you have good lighting. Overall, I feel like this tablet has pretty good value. I don't think the screen is quite as nice as the S10 FE series from Samsung. You won't get as many software updates as Samsung as well, but the performance is good. Got quite a bit larger screen than the regular size S10 FE at a much more affordable price. Plus, you've got pen support and video out, so I could see a lot of people choosing this over something from Samsung. I'll definitely have to do some comparisons with this to see how it stacks up against other tablets that I have here soon, so keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.